What's up, people? Jeffrey Kaminsky here with 6 recovery hacks you probably haven't heard before. But right before we get into that, here's a quick little rant on why recovery is so important. So, most of you probably spend 1 to 2 hours in the gym on top of a 2-hour practice, but that's not where progress is made. How you spend the other 20 hours of your day, in other words, how you recover, is what determines how much you progress. Imagine this. You get home from your day and you gotta drag yourself up the stairs because you did Bulgarian split squats. And then all of a sudden, you can't bend your neck and it hurts because you drilled off that one JV wrestler whose only offense is a collar tie. At this point, it's very tempting to lie down on the floor and contemplate life. I mean, we've all been there. But this is the absolute worst thing you can do. So if you do nothing and just let that lactic acid sit there in your muscles, it's not going anywhere. And every day will feel like the day after leg day. The most important thing you can do is move. Blood heals, and moving around gets that blood flowing and it'll flush out the lactic acid from your muscles. Your legs are sore? Go for a walk. Your neck hurts? Move it. The only way to get better is to do something. Alright, with that out of the way, here are 6 recovery hacks that I personally use that you probably haven't heard before. Let's get straight into it with tip number 1. During a workout. Practice thing, yeah. So, when you're working hard, you're going to sweat a lot. When you sweat a lot, that sweat's going to take a lot of your electrolytes with it. So, we're going to replenish them with electrolyte powder. The brand that I use is Ultima. I wish I was sponsored by these guys, but I'm not. Now you've made your electrolyte drink, go put it in the fridge. Save it until you get back so you can get hydrated right away. If you're someone who's cutting weight, you might find this especially useful because, unlike something like Gatorade to refuel your electrolytes, this has no calories in it, so you can get that hydration back without adding more weight back on. Oh, scuba's gone. Tip number 2. We've all had those times where we can feel that we need our backs cracked, and you might just say, well, go get a friend to do it for you, but if you're like me, you don't have any friends. I'm sure some of you don't have friends, so that's not going to work. Alright, so we might not have any friends that crack our back for us, but if we have one of these, we can try it ourselves. The only problem is that just lying down in a little foam roller often isn't going to give you enough pressure to crack your back, so we're going to have to improvise a little bit. This is how we're going to improvise. We're going to find a door frame, take our foam roller, put it to the place you want to crack your back at, breathe in and push. Go up and down your back, find the spots you want. This way, unlike the roller on the ground, you can apply pressure directly where you want. I don't know what I was going to say, but... Hack number 3. Foam rollers and lacrosse balls are some of the most versatile recovery equipment you can possibly have, but sometimes they simply don't apply enough pressure. So, sorry. You gotta get rid of them. Since the foam roller is not applying enough pressure, take a bar or some other kind of heavy-weighted implement like this and roll it where you need it. Don't get me wrong, this is gonna hurt like a bitch, but it'll make you feel better in the long term. Similarly, take your plate or a cross ball. Look at this. Magically fits in there. So, find the desired spot and use the weight of the plate to help get that extra massage going. Just like before, this is gonna hurt, but it's worth it. A barbell or some other weighted object. For hack number 4, we're gonna talk about our feet. And if that got you excited, this is your one and only chance to get off my channel. Alright, now that creep's gone, we're gonna need one of these. I'll get into why you need this in a second, but first, you need to understand that most of the time, the source of the pain is not at the site of that pain. For example, most people experience lower back pain. They might try to roll around on a foam roller in the lower back, but that's not the problem. In actuality, something in your hips is tight and it's causing it to pull on that. Most of the time, the source of it is above or below the actual pain. Same thing when people get tendonitis in their knees. The people try to treat the knees itself, but it's actually when their quad's too fucking tight and all those muscles are pulling on the kneecap itself. Same thing can be applied to your feet, but most people don't think about this. There's a lot of soft tissue and muscles in your feet that connect all the way up further in your leg. So if those muscles and tissues are right here are tight and angry, they're going to affect the stuff up here. So we're going to take our lacrosse ball, massage this little area, just like the same thing with a foam roller. Most of you already roll out your quads and other stuff like your IT band, but I'm sure the majority of you never even thought about rolling out your foot before. So the first time you try this, it's probably going to be pretty tight. I mean, we're walking around all day, we're doing squats, all that stuff that involves your feet, any athletic endeavor for that matter. So it's going to hurt when you first try it. Once you fight through that pain, you're going to get a lot more relaxation and be soothed from it. That's why I usually do this right before I go to bed every night.
As a joke.
Alright, act number 5 is going to cover how you sleep. And so, you're going to get at least 6 to 8 hours of sleep because you're a good athlete. Yeah, me neither. But the point is, if you're staying in that position for another 6 hours, your muscles are going to get tight. So you want to make sure you're sleeping in a good position. The same idea like when you're at school sitting at a desk for an hour straight. So the muscles in your legs are going to get tighter, and it's going to affect your posture and mess up some other things too. Now, I'm not saying you got to lie in your bed like King Tut or something stupid like that, but maybe this isn't the best idea right here. Sleeping like this, in essence, internally rotates the shoulder. And since we're sleeping there for 8 hours, the muscles are going to get tightened to that position, and it's going to affect your posture. And then going into exercises like the bench press and the arterial press or a sport, it's going to put you at a greater risk of injury. That's not good. If you already have shoulder problems, that's not going to help it, and it might even be the cause of your shoulder problems. I know that for me, I've slept like this for years, and that's definitely affected my ability to get up into a front rack position because my shoulders are tight. And so if our muscles are going to get tight by staying in the same place for 8 hours, we may as well make it a good position and not one that places us at greater risk for injury. If you do not have already shoulder problems. Alright, thank you for watching. Hope you learned something new today. If you have any recovery hacks of your own you'd like to share or any general questions for me, leave them in the comments.